On SABC2 and SABC News Channel 404. Now, the Department of Water and Sanitation has recently held a water and sanitation dialogue plan. The dialogue is aimed at drawing on the knowledge and the experience from the participants on how best to develop a comprehensive plan that will also address water and sanitation challenges facing the country. We look at this dialogue, of course, and water challenges, more so zooming into the Western Cape province, and we joined in our studios in Johannesburg by the Minister of Water and Sanitation Department, Minister Nomvula Mokonyane. Minister, good morning live. Now, let's just start with the plan. I've highlighted a little about it on my introduction, but talk to us about what it really aims to achieve.
We want South Africans to contribute towards a long-term plan on the development of water infrastructure for the country, as well as the promotion of water security, looking at both the domestic, the agricultural, the industrial, as well as for sanitation, and most importantly looking at different means, because over years South Africa's plan was premised primarily on the surface water. What we now are calling upon is, let's all talk and make the National Development Plan a meaningful document that then says our vision for the future with regard to water security in South Africa must be informed by the following things: access, sustainability, innovation, diversification, but most importantly also proper management and operation and maintenance capacity. We do need to also adapt, given the realities of climate change and global warming, so that then we explore the use of grey water. We encourage demand management. We also make sure that we put people at the center of water security.
Yeah. Now, back to the plan, Minister. How do people go about becoming part of the plan and contributing towards it? Will you be taking this initiative maybe to the provincial level where the problems are?
Already at the launch last week, the Deputy Minister actually pronounced that we would be going to different provinces, would also be having sectoral engagements, would even go to the level of meeting with business, meeting with institutions of higher learning, and doing a lot of sectoral work. And the first leg would be, of course, the briefings that are going to go to the different provincial governments, given also the reality that water is a national as well as local government competence. But we do believe that there's a space called a province that has got its own dynamics. There are sectors, the agricultural sector becomes key, the research and knowledge-based institutions become very important, and it is all those things that are beginning to happen. We're going to start with the month of June, engaging through the National Youth Development Agency with some of the key stakeholders in the youth sector that can be part of identifying what is best for the future.
Yeah, because the reality of the matter, Minister, is that some places water is luxury to them. They still struggle a lot. If I were to zoom a little bit into the Free State where I come from, water scarcity, it's the main thing, challenges facing them. And if you talk to the provincial government, they refer to aging infrastructure. So how will this plan go about addressing the issue of aging infrastructure? Because it seems as if that is where the problem is.
That's exactly the reason why you need a country plan. Precisely because water services is a responsibility that rests with your municipalities, and municipalities are not the same. And most of your municipalities in the Free State do receive direct grants from National Treasury, but once the money reaches the municipality, they decide to do other things. So we need to make sure that there's strong monitoring and evaluation. Secondly, we need to make sure that there are capable men and women who must actually be part of the management of water and sanitation infrastructure, as well as management of the systems. We are reviewing now the Water Act and the Water Services Act, because this piano kind of an arrangement where some responsibility rests with national and another responsibility rests with the communities. People don't know that. All they want is to see water coming through. And it is those things that we're engaging, so that then even with us, we need to work with the Department of Cooperative Governments, provincial governments in their own development plans for the province, they need to take on board the issue of bulk infrastructure, particularly the competency of local government.
And let's look into the Western Cape, Minister, before I run out of time. The Premier of the province yesterday declaring the area a disaster area because of shortage of water in that area. How is the National Department assisting?
We are relieved that finally the Western Cape has declared, so that then the National Disaster Management Centre that convenes all of us through an interministerial committee can step in. There are immediate things. We'll continue the 20% restriction for domestic and 30% for agriculture. We are going to be looking at abstraction in terms of Theewaterskloof and the fuel flow dam, giving in some capacity and add on in terms of water supply for a period of about 3 weeks. There is no guarantee of the winter rainfalls, because even the climate specialists have confirmed that there's uncertainty because of global warming. We are going to work with them also to ensure that all these municipalities in the Western Cape start spending their grant money that they receive directly from national government. We will be putting permanent water tanks so that then people can have access. We'll be re-drilling and rehabilitating boreholes, particularly in your health institutions and where there are essential services. We are urging communities to continue to save, and I think we must commend the community of Cape Town in particular for having actually cooperated in terms of the current water restrictions. The last one is that we must go and refurbish the desalination solutions that the Western Cape has had previously, and we must learn from the interventions in other provinces and come in. It can't be correct that a province with 2 oceans surrounding it can't actually be able to use that water, and it is those things that we are also going to be working on. And lastly, we need a plan for the Western Cape. Them working as a united team will actually take us forward.
All right. Now, the provincial government made an announcement yesterday, of course, of declaring the area a disaster area, but also saying that this is not a call for the residents to panic. Is it your view as well that they shouldn't panic because the situation looks dire?
Yes, there is no cause to panic, but there is every reason to be responsible.
Okay.
Starting with the management and ordinary communities. And if we go out and sort out the channels in Theewaterskloof as well as in fuel flow dam, we can actually have water up until mid-June. But beyond that, if nothing drastic happens in terms of the winter rainfalls, then we can say we need a lifeline support. And hence, the Western Cape can't actually relax and not deal with groundwater, grey water, and most importantly, desalination. The myth on desalination has been removed by specialists when we had the summit in the Western Cape.
Right.
The experience of KwaZulu-Natal is also a good experience. Let's save water. Yes, there are no immediate solutions for the Western Cape.
All right. Now, you've mentioned an important issue just in conclusion, that there's got to be cooperation. There's got to be a plan designed and cooperation, I believe, between your department and the provincial government in the Western Cape. Currently, is there no such a plan in existence and no cooperation?
The good thing is that the National Disaster Management Centre has pulled all the plans together.
Okay.
What is of importance is that the provincial government of the Western Cape has to actually be the one that declares. And already by then, all municipalities had declared. So we do need everybody to move with haste and appreciate that these interventions have to be done. And that's where there's been a problem internally in the Western Cape. But there's been a lot of cooperation amongst ourselves and the Department of COCTA in the Western Cape and the municipalities.
Okay.
Thanks that the provincial government has now come to the party.
Right. And thank you so much to you for having made time to chat to us. I know you're not feeling well, but thank you so much for having made it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa. Water and Sanitation Minister Nomvula Mokonyane talking to us about the water challenges taking place in South Africa, but most importantly also talking about the sanitation dialogue plan as it was outlined by her department last week. All right, it's 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. It's Kate Semidalo. Iko na nkosana yetu Valen is standing by with the latest happening in the world of sport.